little shaky. Okay. I think the way that I'm going to start doing this is we're going to dedicate 30 minutes every morning, and we'll either pick one car or two cars. This morning it's perfect because you have direct competitors in the Bronco and the Wrangler. So Hunter, good morning. What's happening? Bobby, I just seen your video with the Corvette. You still, I'll tell you what. Maybe before the end of this, we'll walk in there and do that. Hi, it's good to see you. Okay, Bobby, I think what I'm gonna start doing is I'm gonna start doing a YouTube live every morning for about 30 minutes. Whether we get finished with the comparison or not, I don't know. But anyway, that's what's up. We can walk over and get the keys for it. But let's look at this first because this may help somebody. The Corvette, the only thing that's gonna help somebody do is get excited. But yeah, we'll go. All right. I know we talked about this the other day, but this is Bronco and Jeep season. The rest of the year right now, everybody's gonna be wanting to take their tops off, go off-road and go camping. So it's Bronco and Jeep time. Now, this is Ford of Murfreesboro in the background right here. I am not a car salesman. You do not have to worry about me trying to sell you anything. That is not my game. I know the price of this one because it's a new vehicle. I don't even know the price of that one because price is not something that I worry about. Okay, Jeep Wrangler. It's been making it for a long, long time. Good morning, Jack. It's good to see you. It's very good to see you. Thanks, man. Yesterday's live was so bad, I didn't even upload it. It was just horrible. I felt like I was grabbing at straws. I didn't feel very good yesterday, and I pushed it. But anyway, I feel great today. We're not going to push this one. Okay, Jeep Wrangler. It's been going for a long, long time. CJs, Wranglers, JKs. Now you're into the JL. This is a 2021 or a 2022. So before we get in there, the interior on a 2025 has been upgraded. So keep that in mind as we go forward. But it's still, even with the upgrade, it's still not up to there. Oh, man. Anyway, okay, let's talk about engines first. What's up? Danny Page, it's good to see you. John, good morning, good morning. Okay, listen, when I do this right here, I'm going to have to flip the phone back and forth because the flip thing that I do on TikTok, apparently it messes with the, it doesn't apparently, it sucks. The volume completely goes away. I know what y'all were talking about yesterday. Sorry. So we're just going to have to flip it like this. Okay, let's do this. All right. You do have engine options in the Jeep. So it's not like you just have one engine to choose from. Go ahead and show them. Oh, yeah, I know exactly what intake that is. Hang on just a second. Let me prop my hood rod. All right. Jeep Wranglers. That's a 3.6 liter Pentastar V6. 3.6 V6. Casey, my dad had a Dodge Ram or a Ram pickup a few years ago and it had that same engine. Is that possible? Is that the same engine? Directly the same. The Pentastar V6 has been in everything Stellantis Mopar for the last, what do y'all think? Let's see, it came in the Jeep in 2012 for the first time, I think. Anyway, it's been around for a long time in Jeeps. But it's been in Chargers, Magnums, Challengers, Rams, everything. You can also do a 2-liter 4-cylinder turbo. Now, people that know anything about me and have listened to me run my mouth upon my car adventures, they know I'm not a big fan of the Pentastar V6. The 2-liter 4-cylinder is kind of the way that I would go. Casey, you'd get a 4-cylinder turbo to pull that? Okay, that's a great conversation right there. And some of y'all, I know this is Hobbly Nation has been in here, and so y'all have heard my same stuff, but maybe somebody will listen to this that's never been in here. Everything is going 4-cylinder turbo. Big V6s are no longer a thing. I mean, these guys have a V6, that's probably a 4-cylinder right there. But like, for instance, back here, that's a little Chevrolet Trailblazer. I'd love to be up there with him, wouldn't y'all? Anyway, that's a little Chevrolet Trailblazer that has a 1.2 liter 3-cylinder. Let me say it again in case you didn't, maybe the phone messed up. 1.2 liter 3-cylinder. That has a 1.5 liter 3-cylinder. That has a 1.5 liter 3-cylinder. That has a 4-cylinder turbo. So They don't do big V6s anymore. The new Tacoma, it's got the new Camry. Did y'all know this? I learned this yesterday doing a review on this. Y'all know how much I love the Toyota Camry. Casey, you're getting away from the cars. I know, but hang on. That's hybrid only. Did y'all know that? You can't get that any other way but with 2 electric motors. It's got a 2.5 liter 4-cylinder in the front, and then it's got an electric motor for the front and an electric motor for the back. But it's only hybrid. So you see what I'm saying? Everything is small engines now. So it would make sense. Let's go ahead and show the Bronco's goods right here. Let's go ahead and show your goods as well. When we get into the interior, the Bronco just destroys the Jeep. Anyway, we'll look at it in a second. Some people may not feel that. Casey, I don't feel that way. And you know what the lovely part about that is? Opinions. That's what it's all about. All right, hang on. All right, get back to the show, Casey. Don't get off track. I'm not going to. All right, so 3.6. Now, a couple of years ago, they quit making it, but you could have gotten a little diesel underneath the hood of this. And I will say this, the little eco diesel, I have read some very horror stories, and then I have read some very good stories. So keep that in mind if you're out there looking for Jeeps with that diesel engine. Make sure you do your research. Okay, over here in Broncoville. Oh, if you got the 6, oh, I brought, oh, we done brought the big power. Did I get the V6? I didn't even mean to. Uh-oh. This is not going to be fair. Well. Okay. This right here is the 2.7. Let's start with the base engine. The base engine is the Mustang EcoBoost 2.3. It's about 300 horsepower and about 310 pound-feet of torque, something like that. That's the 2.7. In F-150ville, see that red F-150 at the end right there? The base model in F-150s, so the base engine now is a 2.7. They're all getting that 2.7 twin turbo. So that has like 325 horsepower and 400 pound-feet of torque. This with the V6, that's a 3.6, but no turbos. No turbos. That's putting out like 285 horsepower, 270 pound-feet of torque. If the numbers are wrong, trust me, I'm in the ballpark, but who really cares? Anyway, so a lot more power, almost 40 horsepower more, and a lot more torque. 400 pound-feet of torque versus 280 at the most, so over 100 pound-feet of torque difference. 10-speed automatic, 8-speed automatic over there in the Jeep department. Wow, I got lucky and picked a 2.7. It doesn't happen very often. Yes, it would, Bobby, and there's some guys that have done some swaps, and dude, I agree. There's a lot of, they finally put, they finally put the 6.4 underneath there. They should have done that a long time ago. They should have put a 4.7 back in the day. They should have put that engine underneath there. They could have put a 318 back in there back in the day, because the 318 V8, it wasn't exactly a very economical V8, but that was an awesome engine. The 318 Mopar small block could take some abuse. All right, Danny, you should put ooh, Danny. I'm jumping on Bobby's bandwagon right there. I'll come up there and film it. I could drive every day after work. We'll try to put 1 million miles on the Challenger by Christmas. All right, let's go. Let's flip back over here. All right. How much time we got? 9 minutes, because after this, I'm gonna save y'all some time so we can go over and look at the Corvette real quick. All right, now that we've covered the engines and the drivetrains, now also real quick, I've saved the best for last. There's a Jeep 392, and that's what we were just talking about. They finally put a V8 underneath the hood of that. They put the 6.4 Scat Pack V8. That's the same V8 that's underneath the hood of some 2500 Dodges, or Rams, excuse me. It's also that same engine that's underneath Scat Pack hoods, Scat Pack Challengers. It's like 470 horsepower and 470 pound-feet of torque. But that's the big bad Jeep. And then the big bad Bronco has a 3-liter. It has that engine. The Exploder ST engine. 3 liters worth of twin turbo V6, 400 horsepower. And anyway, all right. Numbers are so boring. I'm so down now. Yes, I'm telling you, that's it. Danny, we're all in. Okay. As far as tops, both of them can have hard tops. On the Bronco, you can do a hard top or a soft top. Also on the Bronco, you can do a painted top like this guy has right here, or you can make it look the plasticky, just the way that it's made. There's an example of a soft top Bronco so you can see. But then on Jeeps, it's the same exact thing. I mean, listen, okay, Jeep was making their product for a long time. Jeep's been making this thing right here in one iteration for another for 1941 or something. Ford, they started doing it in the 60s. Then they went out after OJ. I'm just joking. But like 96, I think 96 was the last big bodied Bronco. And then the Bronco went away for a while. And then the Bronco came back, I think, in 2020 or 2021. But anyway, Ford just wants some of this money. That's all this is about. So anyway, this is a better engineered Jeep, according to Ford. All right, let's do this. What else we got going? Oh! I forgot one top. Damn, I got it sidetracked. I'm trying to slow myself down so I give a better show. If you don't want to do a hard top and you don't want to do a soft top, Casey, I just want the look of the Jeep. I will never take my Jeep off-roading. I ain't going to put mud on this. Are you crazy? Okay, you can have a one-touch sunroof and picture the whole hard top thing. So you've got these side rails on the side, and then the center of it is cut out, and you push one button. Literally, you just push one button, and it starts folding itself back. Anyway, it stacks up on the back like a Volkswagen Beetle Classic convertible. Can I say one thing? If you ever intend on taking the top off of your Jeep, don't get that top. If you're into mall cruising, that's the top for you. The only reason why, if you don't get those panels lined back up perfectly, bad stuff could happen. The Jeep Liberty had a top very similar to that back in like 2006, 2008, something like that. It didn't go good. So just do your research on that. All right, let's get on back in here. Now, Casey, can you still take the windshield off of a Jeep? You most certainly can. It's not quite as easy as it was back in the day, but yes, it still has the hinges. You can still take that windshield down. You got to remove a cowl panel, I think. Danny, you got to take this off. I think you've got to take the windshield wipers off and remove the cowl panel. Maybe you don't, though, because that hinges. Anyway, you can remove the windshield. You can also remove the doors. Of course you can. There's your bolts right there. You've got a bolt right there and a bolt right there. Pop those off, and it's really that simple. Now, the cool part about Jeep, I'm not going to get all weird, but Jeep been in the game for a long, long time. When you take those bolts and those screws and those hinges and all that stuff off, where are you going to put them? You're just going to throw them in the center console. Maybe you're going to put your nuts in a Ziploc bag. Maybe that's how you plan on keeping them. Well, Jeep thought about that, and you could just have a little storage. See, there's a place to put said hardware. Now, I'm not knocking the Bronco. The Bronco just hasn't been playing this game quite as long. So in the Bronco, you can still take the top off. You can still take your doors off. Let's see if you can take the windshield off. I don't know that you can do that in a Bronco. I don't think, no, that's not happening. Okay, so we're not even going to take the windshield off of the Bronco, but if you'll look back here, oh, a little Christmas morning. Hang on, let me move all this Christmas morning. This is a brand new car, so this is for somebody who ever gets it. But see, back here, it's nothing personal. It's nothing bad. And there's nothing wrong with putting hardware in a Ziploc bag. I'm just saying, Jeep thought about it. You don't have to put your hardware in a Ziploc bag. Now, since I made the Bronco look bad, let's give it a little bit of a leeway and let's put it back on top for just a second. Now, if you decide to take your doors off of your Bronco or your Jeep, if you go to take your doors off of the Bronco, the mirrors are attached to the cowl panel. So you're still legal. So Mr. 5-0, Popo, whatever you want to call him, officer, sir, he's not going to give you a ticket. But over here in Jeepville, see, over here in Jeepville, once you take the doors off, guess what you're removing with the doors? Look at that. Just look at that. So you're now what is called illegal. Now, I want to say one more thing. I've owned a Jeep. Have I ever been bothered by the police because of my mirrors? No. No. But if the officer is in a bad mood, he could take it out on you. I'm just saying. That's all I'm saying. I have never had a personal problem with it myself, but just something to be aware of. All right, let's keep on going. I guess we should talk about the back seats. Yeah, I guess we should. 3 inches like a Twitter, not a speaker. I bet it does suck. What are we talking about? New Jeep bars, sound bars. Really? Oh, Danny. What we're talking about, Danny, thanks for the segue. I appreciate that. This is another true difference between Jeeps and Broncos. Obviously, these are made to take the tops off, okay? To have the full Jeep adventure and the full Bronco adventure, you take the tops off, take the doors off, you're doing the whole thing. Okay, in Jeeps, it's called a sound bar. And right here, kind of dividing, you got your front seats right there, and you got your back seats kind of dividing at the top. That's called your sound bar. You got a couple of speakers right there. You've got a light right there, and it's part of the roll bar that goes all the way through the Jeep. See, it comes see the black part right here that goes all the way around? Anyway, the sound bar, it's in the center in Jeeps. Well, over here in Broncos, Bronco did it different. Again, imagine that. They've got their sound bar in the back, or they've got their speakers mounted, but there's nothing in the center. See, you still got your roll bar and everything going around, but that is wide open. So you'd be able to have a lot more sky presence and all of that because without the sound bar. So there's something else. All right. I'm about 6 foot. Sorry, can't do it like that. I got to get used to that. I'm about 6 foot, 6'1", about 276 pounds this morning. I'm not bragging. I told you that because we're fixing to climb into the back seat of this Jeep so you can see what it looks like. All right. Oh, that's actually not bad. Headroom is decent because it's a hard top. Knees, I'm buried in the back of that seat. Be small back here. Maybe the driver could move up a little bit and give me a little bit of room, but that's really small. Now, you've got vents on the back of the console. Way to go, Stellantis. There's your window controls right there. You've got 2 cup holders, power outlet. We've got 1 map pocket, 2 map pockets. That's when we go to Jurassic Park. This is an older model. I have to deal with what's on the lot. This is a Ford lot, not a Jeep lot. The newer Jeeps have a lot bigger screen. Also, new Jeeps, they incorporate some kind of like denim material on the side. I actually like the way the new Jeep dash looks out. It's still not on Bronco level, in my opinion, but anyway. All right, now let's slide out of there. Ugh. Now let's get in the back of the Bronco. Airbags are in. Oh. Are you kidding me? Wow. I'm telling you, who would have ever thought that the movie Demolition Man, did anybody ever see the movie Demolition Man with Sylvester Stallone? Who'd have ever thought that movie was going to be so right? The car turned into a cannoli. Anyway, all right, we're going to get back here. We've got... Oh! Yes! I'm like oh man, I'm like stoked. I'm so happy with Ford Motor right now. I can't, let me in here. I knew it. Yes. This is a 2020, what year are you, baby? She's a 2022. And on the back of that console right there, I always have a complaint. I think that the back passengers ought to have a vent. Casey, there's vents underneath the seats. Well, hang on just a second. Let me show you something. I thought you were unpowerless. And you're right, there are some vents underneath that seat, but look right there. Look at that. It's like 3 sonic straws. And then you put your foot right in front of it like that right there. You see what I'm saying? Not a lot of vent air flowage. So anyway, no, this is fantastic. No vents on the back right there. But over here in this 2025 model, this is a 2025, not a 2024. Look at that. Way to go! That's fantastic. All right, you got your window switches right there. We got some nice, huge vents right there. Look at those. Oh, they're nice and juicy. Now we got some USB-Cs down there to charge up some tablets, some phones, and whatever else, and a power outlet. God, that made my whole day right there. You did so good, Ford. All right, we got a little vent, or a little map pocket right there on the back. Got another little net right there for the map pocket. Let's go ahead and do the nasty. Let's go ahead and climb up on in there. Didn't that make you happy? It made me happy. I don't care if it made you happy or not. It made me, excuse me. Excuse me. All right, climbing on in the back. Stadium seating. I've said this before. You ever gone to like a football game? like the row behind you, they're stacked up behind you. You see what I'm saying? Same exact principle here in a Bronco. You're sitting up higher than the driver. It looks like I do have a little bit more knee room right there. Maybe I don't have the seat far enough back. As far as headroom, plenty of headroom. Shoulder room, about the same. We do have a couple of cup holders right there, little small ones, but they are there. All right, and there's a look at the dash on the Bronco. All Broncos and F-150s, this is something Ford does. They put all the same size screen and everything, but the options that are in the screen, this is a pretty option one though. We got all the little toggle switches up there. Those are all filled instead of blanked out. Anyway, all right, here we go. Yes, John, you are so right. Simon Phoenix. What did he say though? He said something like, well, what were they calling him? They were calling him something. Said a scornful remark. When they're asking the computer what to do, say or else. Add the words or else. Anyway, yes, I'm so glad you guys know that. Okay, let's bring this 3.6 to life, and I'm going to tell you a little secret here about the old 3.6. We're moving off of Broncos back into the Jeep. All right. I guess we should let y'all see what this looks like. Danny knows what it looks like, but y'all might not. All right. Whoa, sorry. Okay, we've got a telescoping and scoping wheel right there, so you can take that in and out and do whatever you want to. There's your headlight controls and all that. It does have fog lights. Of course it does. It's a Jeep. This does have a big screen for the time, but like I just said back there, it gets bigger, or the new ones are bigger. Oh, shoot. Hang on. Hang on a minute. Sorry, guys. Hang on just a second. Okay, that's the white Bronco. I don't want that guy. I want the black Bronco. Okay, we'll take that one. No, not the Mustang. We'll do the Mustang in a minute. There's the Jeep. Okay. Sorry. All right, let's go back now. Hold that for me. You're going to need that in just a minute. Thank you. All right. Danny, I want to ask you a question. When I do this whole bit about oil squirters, have you ever read that? Do you think I'm off my rocker? Do you think that the mechanic that told me that is off of his rocker? I swear I didn't make that up. What I'm fixing to tell y'all, I did not make up. A mechanic told me. I'm anxious to see. Please, if you think that it is Greek and it is stupid, I don't say this stuff. I mean, some of it is for jokes, but a lot of it is to try to help people. So anyway, all right, let me tell you one of the downfalls with the 3.6. A mechanic friend of mine told me a long time ago. I've read it. Okay, the 3.6 Pentastar V6 is actually a really great engine. You'll see a lot of them, they got 200,000 miles on them. A lot of them have, a lot of high mileage. Like I've said, it's in a lot of Pentastar, or a lot of Stellantis and Dodge products. Oil squirts up in the engine when your pistons are going up, down, the engine's doing its thing. Hi, what's up, girl? How you doing? Good. The engine's squirting, it's using oil and all of that. On the 3.6, the oil squirters that shoot up into the top of the engine to lubricate the top part. Ah, Toby, happy Memorial Day weekend, sir. I think I might be off on Monday. Anyway, the oil squirters, they don't squirt hard enough. They're squirting anemic, and so idling. You don't want to idle a 3.6 is what I'm trying to tell you. So like, that whole case, should I let my car cold start? Should I just let it warm up? No, not with a 3.6. As soon as you start it, go. That's just something, I didn't make that up. That's something that a car friend of mine, a mechanic friend told me. So take that with what you will. Like what we're doing right here is very bad for it. So anyway, but if you get the 2-liter, the 4-cylinder, it doesn't matter. All right, there's your 4-wheel drive right there. We've got window switches. You got an old 12-volt right there. You've got dual zone climate control. We've got an automatic start-stop. I don't see any heated steering wheel, or let's see here what we got. No, we don't want to hook my phone up. Let's go to controls. I don't see any of that. Huh. Wow, you don't have a heated seat or anything? No heated seat or heated steering wheel, anything I can see right there. You got the old aux cord, a USB-C and a USB-D. It's got the 8-speed automatic transmission. Something that the Bronco doesn't have is a full-blown real e-brake. Everything's electronic in the Bronco, but this one's got a real proper handbrake. Got another USB right in there. And I guess that's all I got to say about the Jeep. It is really that simple to take the doors off. Casey, is it really simple to take the doors off like people say? Yes. Take that nut off right there. Take that nut off right there. You have to disconnect your electrical connection right here. And then I just now saw this. I guess you'd have to pop that off too. Just pop that one little nut off right there. That's just to help keep the door open, I guess, like a little scotch. But you'd have to take that off. But anyway, so you take that off and then, Danny, is that right? I just now saw that on this one. I hadn't seen that before. But that's the electrical connection. I know you just disconnect it from there. But anyway, mine didn't have that. Is insurance? No, probably not. And here, back when I was a kid, insurance companies didn't like Jeeps because of rollovers. They were real prone to rolling over. I'm not saying that they've corrected that. I mean, look at it. It's a refrigerator box lifted up. It's still prone to rolling over. However, there's so many safety features. You've got front avoidance collision on there. You got a lane keep assist. There's no telling how many airbags it's got in there. Danny was talking about all the airbags inside the roll bar now. So I would imagine not, but I would imagine it would be more expensive to do that as opposed to maybe that Hyundai. But it is, Danny. Okay. Oh, is that what? Oh, I got confused. Okay. Let's go do the interior on this. We got to go look at that Corvette. If y'all, oh wait, we're never going to get to that Corvette. Never going to make it. That's all right. We'll switch over to TikTok in a minute and we'll piss them off. All right, bring it up. We've already talked about engines in here. All of the Broncos get that big, huge, massive screen. The options that are in there are a little different. Now, this is a 2025, and that's a 2022. So I'm not really going to do a lot of, because it's not fair to that Jeep. I don't want to make the Jeep look bad. If the Bronco wins in a competition, then it wins. But to make it look bad, that ain't really what I'm talking about. But in here, we've got a USB and a USB-C down there to charge. You've got two heated seats. You've also got a heated steering wheel. Here is locking front end, locking rear end. There's your inside Jake brake, little wheel lock thing, traction control, hazard lights, pre-wired switches for, ooh, did that Jeep have that? These are pre-wired switches in case you want to put up a winch or Baja lights or whatever. And then the hardtop's the same exact thing. Oh, wait a minute. I need to go see that. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm trying to get better. It replaced the strap. Danny, thank you. I appreciate that. Okay. It's still just one little piece. I mean, it's not like, oh, it just makes it. No, it is. Yes, it is more complicated, but it's one freaking little nut. I mean, you grab an Allen key, for God's sake, twist it 4 times, and it's done. I mean, so come on. This does not have any of those, but on Rubicons and more upfitted Jeeps, down here, you're going to have where you can disconnect your front axles and all of that. And over there, you'll have a couple of little switches for pre-wired switches. So Jeep does offer them. This one doesn't. Like I said, this is a 2021 or 2022, so it's not going to be as fruitful as a 2025. Do those frameless doors, windows rattle? Toby, I don't think so, but you know what? That would actually be a really good video. I need to find when we take in like a used one sometime. Toby, that'd be a great video. Or something I could at least help with. I'll tell you what, I'll start looking for higher mileage Broncos when they come in, and I'll deliberately start going for a ride in them just to find that out. What Toby is talking about, another total difference between the Bronco and the Jeep. The Bronco has what I like to call briefcase doors. Casey, those doors don't come off. I thought you said you could take the doors off. Where's the hinges? Bronco it's just a little bit different. The hinges are the same exact thing. You pop off one nut right there, and you pop off one nut down there on the bottom, and then you disconnect your electrical thing, and it pops off. Now, you take your hand and put one right there. See where it says lift? Put a hand right there, and then one on the side, and it lifts up. So windowless. I'm going to go with it because we're in Tennessee. These are windowless doors right here. These are windowless over here on this Ford Bronco. So windowless doors over here, and then over here on the Bronco, or on the Jeep, they have the frame. Now, I'll let you decide which way you want to go with that, which way is better. Frame doors are better. Whatever. But anyway, frame doors versus unframed. All right. Yeah, Toby, you're totally welcome. And thank you for the idea. No, I will do that because that would be something good. All right, y'all. Oh, one more thing I think we should mention in the Bronco. When you're out there shopping for Broncos, Casey, I love those leather seats. Well, the funny part about that is these are not leather seats. What? You gotta think boat. Yeah, Wellcraft, Sea Ray boats. You know what I'm saying? It's real thick vinyl, like super thick, not cheap stuff, not leatherette, but real full-blown vinyl. Before we go, let's look at the price of this Bronco because I don't know what the price of the Jeep is, but let's see what the price of this Bronco is so you guys can walk off with that little knowledge. 2025 Badlands. We got a 2.7-liter EcoBoost, 10-speed automatic. It's in shadow black with leather-trimmed vinyl black seats. You're getting 17 miles per gallon in the city, 18 miles per gallon on the highway. So let's just call it 18, 17, whatever. Those are all your standard options right there. I don't really care about that. Let's look at these. Equipment Group 334A, that's $2,800. That's the Badlands series, dual zone electric climate control, the lugs package, 360-degree camera, adaptive cruise control. We got 12. Whoa! I bet you'll bump 12 speakers. I wasn't expecting that. Optional equipment, 2.7 liters worth of EcoBoost. That is $2,145. Oh man, we're charging for the 10-speed? Since when? Okay, so in 2020. Damn, 2025 10-speed automatic transmission, $1,500. L285 70R17's 33-inch mud grip-a-tar, or all-terrain grip-a-tar. We got a 446 rear axle. That's what part of the reason why you're getting 17 miles per gallon. The rest of it's because it's a refrigerator box. Front axle locking differential, remote start system, 17-inch machine gray painted aluminum wheels. We've already talked about those black leather seats, but those black leather, or those black vinyl seats are 20. Huh? A few changes in here since 2024. I ain't gonna lie. Huh. Okay. All right. So that's okay. Leather trimmed vinyl black seats. That's a $2,400 option. Hardtop black painted. That's a $2,500 option. Sound deadening headliner. They're gonna throw that in. Raptor style running boards for $755. On vehicle storage bags for $400. She's ringing in at $65,000. Wow. Learned a couple things right there looking at a 2025 Bronco. We will not be doing a video comparing the window sticker of a 2025 and a 2024. You'll have to find that somewhere else. All right, y'all, we've gone past the 30-minute mark, and I've really got to try to keep to that. TikTok. Bye. Y'all have a good day. Thank you so much for watching the YouTube live. I will get better. If you have any comments, please help me. If I was audio, if the audio was better, I'd love to hear about it. Thank y'all so much. You guys have a really good day. Toby, Danny, thank y'all so much. Bobby, I appreciate that. Where is Jack? Thanks a lot, Jack. I know y'all come over here for me, and I appreciate it coming from TikTok. Have a good weekend. Bye.